Alright guys, so I'm going to make 3 videos. This first video is going to be in regards to making a quick logo in Photoshop and then exporting each of the layers with alpha channels. I'm going to make another video, that'll be part 2, that'll be After Effects, where we import those layers and we add some keyframe animations, and then I'll make a third video about rendering and compression. Okay, so let's just jump into Photoshop. So I'm going to right click and go open with Adobe Photoshop. I'm going to go fairly quick here so this doesn't take too long. Just know that you can always go back and rewind. So first thing I want to do, this image is kind of big, so I'm going to go to image size and I'm going to just take this down to 2K or 2000 pixels, and we're just going to click OK. And I roll in by Alt middle mouse rolling. I'm going to click this little lock to unlock that layer. So that's going to be my guide. Let's make some new layers. So layer, new layer. And let's call this Crescent 1. And by coming over here to the Marquee Tool, left clicking and holding gives us this menu. We want to make an elliptical Marquee Tool. Now we could draw skinny ellipticals or kind of tall ellipticals, but we want to make this a perfect circle. So I'm just going to hold shift down to make that a nice circle. Just draw it out to make the size of something like that. And if I kind of come close, you'll see the little mouse pointer with the box. I can always move that around to wherever I want. So I'm going to drop that right there. And I'm going to make a layer mask by clicking our little layer mask icon. And then I'm going to get into our layer mask by alt clicking on the layer mask. And so to create a crescent, I just want to make some of this black. So again, I'm just going to hold shift and drag, and again, I can always move this around by left clicking when I get close. Okay, so let's make a crescent, something like that, and let's do a fill. So edit, fill, and yes, we want black. I'm going to do OK, and then Control D as in dog. We'll clear our selection and we'll just come back to this main layer. Well, I want this to be red, so I'm going to go back to making sure I've selected this layer, edit, fill, and let's change that from black to a color, and that's already set to red, so we're good to go, and OK. All right, I'm going to come back to my move tool so I can move my crescent into place, and that looks pretty good. So now if I hold Alt and left click and drag, I could make a copy, and then I can come up to edit and do free transform, and if I come out to these little side blocks, just on the outside of them I'll get the double arrow and I can rotate, and if I hold shift I can snap rotate. So I'm just gonna snap rotate, get that roughly into place. I can see I'm getting some fringes on both of these layers since I moved them around, so I'm just gonna refill both of those with red. Edit, fill, red, and we're good. So we have our crescents. Let's come over here and click our type tool. Let's change at the very top here. So click on this, come click up here and change that value to like 900. And let's just click out here, backspace. Hold on, backspace, there we go. And we'll just do AT. Now come back to my move tool, and we'll position that into place. That looks good. We're not crossing over anything, so we look good. I'm just going to put the T layer on top, so we have T, red, red, and then our original image. I'm going to actually put a new layer right above that original image. I call it BG. So we should have T, red, 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 BG in our original image. We could really back this with anything, so our white letter could be on white, our red could be on red, and that would be a very valid option. I'm just going to fill this with black, just so we can see what's going on a little better, and then we'll pre-multiply that. Okay, so we have something like that. I'm going to turn off both red layers, and let's make some alpha channels. So I'm going to control click on the actual image of the T, and we can see that little selection. We just want to go to channels, and once we're here, let's click the little alpha box and we get an alpha. Go to file, we're going to do save as, We want to make sure we're not saving layers, so uncheck that. We want to make sure we're on TIFF. Let's copy. Alpha channels are checked. And let's call this T_LYR for layer. And save. And OK. We're just going to drag that alpha channel over here to the trash can. So we get rid of it. And we're good. So Control D as in dog clears that selection for the T. Turn the eyeball off for the T. Turn the eyeball on for the next red layer. This time, instead of control clicking on the layer itself, we're going to control click on the mask to get a selection. We're going to go to channels. And once in channels, we'll make another alpha. From here, file, save as, and uncheck layers, make sure that's all like that. And let's call this crescent underscore layer, or maybe crescent 1 underscore layer. And with these settings, we're going to click save. No compression, that all looks good, and OK. Again, let's just drag that alpha channel over to the little trash can on the bottom right hand corner. Clear that. OK, Control D as in dog. To clear the selection, turn off the eyeball, turn on the eyeball for our last crescent. And again, let's control click the layer mask, go to channels, and let's, again, with that selection, because we've done our control selection, let's click our little alpha, and we have that. So again, we'll just file, save as, and we'll unclick layers. So we have as a copy, alpha channel, tip. We're just going to rename this to crescent to layer, and we'll click save. And OK. And that's actually all we needed to do. We've got our logo made, and we've got each layer exported with its own alpha channel.